I thought it was a typical Tuesday night game in cold weather. It was a little sloppy, but I'm really proud of my guys about how they had a ton of energy. I really thought we rode them really well. They cleared the ball 16-27 and led to extra possessions and a couple goals. And Timmy Lay has just been outstanding in the ride and being tough on ground balls. So I'm really proud. And I thought Chris and James really rode hard, and our communication in the middle of the field was outstanding. I thought our rope unit was great. I really thought Chase and Reese had outstanding games. I was really impressed with our transition with Doxy and Williamson, and even Schmidt led to some easy goals, and I thought we ran the field really well. A little sloppy on the defensive end. We had some miscues down there that led to some easy looks from Bryant. We're going to have to get better there as we get into the Patriot League. I thought Joe was good. I thought we were good at the X, and I thought we really battled for loose balls. This was a little bit of a challenge the team after Ohio State. We thought this team was similar in that regard, that they were going to be really tough and really hard to the ground ball. So I was pleased that we were as efficient and as hard-nosed on the ground balls in this particular game.
One thing I noticed right off the bat on the defensive end, you really held O'Rourke in check.
O'Rourke, yeah.
He was our top guy coming in,
Yep.
held him to 2 goals. Was he someone you were keying in on?
Yeah, well, he was. We think he's an exceptional player. So Jermaine had the assignment. I thought he did a nice job. Q typically gets the top guy. I thought we did a really nice job. Q received a lot of picks, so I thought Q kind of navigated those really well. I thought our scheme, Coach Shipley came with a good scheme to defend their big little and big, and I thought we did a nice job. We shut him off on man up because he is a prolific scorer, but overall I thought our defense did a nice job on him.
Yeah, great. What do you think changed after the first quarter? Something I noticed was that they were turning the ball over for most of the game. You guys kind of settled down after the first quarter. Do you think it was the weather? Do you think it was?
I think some of it was weather-based. I think some of it, we put them in some pressure situations. I just thought we rode really well. I thought our scheme was good. I thought our guys executed the scheme, and I thought we made some plays on some loose balls, and guys made some effort plays, and we took advantage of that. Their miscues, picked the ball up, and a lot of times we were able to create some transition from it.
How do you think McSorley played?
I thought it was good. I thought he made the saves that we needed him to make. I'd love to see him do a little bit better in the clearing game. We had 2 turnovers where I think we could have got out and had transition, and we missed those. So, I think there's room for improvement there. But I do think he made the saves that we needed to make, and he made some big saves as we were kind of in that third quarter and early fourth quarter as we were kind of pushing the game and getting the game a little out of reach for Bryant. He made some key saves in those. So I think he played his best ball in those periods and allowed us to kind of stretch the lead a little bit.
7 different goal scorers. Another efficient offensive night, I would say. Have you been stressing that to spread it around?
I just think that's Coach Slippo's philosophy. He's big into the 6 hands. He doesn't really care who scores the goals. And the guys just really share the ball. Most of our goals this season have been assisted. So at times you have to run by somebody and make a play and make a shot. But for the most part, we're really a unselfish team. And guys are really looking for their reads and looking for the cutters and looking for those skip passes and aren't afraid to throw those one more passes. And that leads to a lot of players scoring and a really balanced attack. And that makes it really hard to key on one person, that if you shut this guy down, then you can shut BU down. So, a lot of credit has to go to Coach Slippo, and then certainly a lot of credit has to go to the offensive guys who are willing to share the ball and don't need the spotlight. And guys that, we call it a hockey assist, is when you make the play but you don't get the assist, you move it, and then it's one more, and then it's the goal. You do all the hard work, but it leads to a goal, and we recognize those even though they don't show up on the stat sheet.
Yeah, gotcha. Final thing, what can you say about Chris Gray? 7-point night.
Yeah.
How has he played, not just tonight, but the whole season for this
He's
team?
been fabulous. Coach Pressler, I have a ton of respect for. The first thing he said in the line was "4 is fantastic," and we're so blessed to have him. And he just makes everybody around him better. And just some of the plays that he makes he makes them look easy, but they're very difficult. So we're going to go as Chris goes, and Chris has a lot of pressure that he puts on himself, and to be a great player you have to handle that pressure, and he's just done a phenomenal job, and continues to to be unselfish, 4 assists in the first half. I don't know what he ended up in the game, but really got us going and got everybody involved. You talk about all those multiple scores and us being balanced. A lot of that is Chris finding the right player at the right time so that they have a makeable shot. So a lot of credit goes to Chris.
Right, awesome.
Just speaking about Chris, 100 points in 22 games is pretty special. And you've coached some special offensive players while being here. But what makes Chris so dynamic and able to put up Pat Spencer type numbers so early in his career?
It's just his vision. I mean, he just sees the field. He sees it like a coach, and he sees it better than I see it. Just some of the plays that he sees and makes, and then just his skill. He's just so skillful, and he's a competitor. And for someone who's certainly 5'8", 5'9", he's fearless. I mean, he just dodges. He can take contact, and he's versatile. I mean, he can shoot the ball. He can dodge. He can feed. He can play off ball. I mean, there's really not much. He can shoot righty, shoot lefty. There's really not much in Chris's game that he doesn't have, and is very skilled at it and very effective at it.
And then finally, Sean Chrisman was 8 of 8 at the X in the second quarter, and that's where you sort of made your big jump. Just talk about how important he's been over the last 3 games now.
Yeah, Sean's been great. He's been fantastic as far as possession. I think he's on a 2-game point streak, maybe three. I don't know if he got one against Sacred Heart, but obviously had one against Dartmouth to start the game, and then had a big one today. Those are just so big when you score, and then Sean pops one forward, and you either stop a run or you go on a 2-goal run really quickly. So he's been much tougher this year. We've really challenged Sean to get more athletic in the offseason and to be tougher on those ground balls, and he's done a really good job. So I get more fired up when he makes a tough play than he does an assist. Because I know that's something that he's really comfortable with when he just pops it forward and then throws it to one of our attackmen. I get really fired up when he kind of bears down, gets a tough call, takes a slash or two, and then retains possession. So he's done a much better job with that this year. We really challenged him, and he's met that challenge. So really pleased, and he's going to be an important part of what we do going forward.